CBT News, celebrating 10 years of delivering the news and content automotive professionals count on. CBT News, 10 years strong. Subscribe today. Welcome to CBT News with Bridget Fitzpatrick.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thank you so much for joining us. Today on Inside Automotive, we're joined by Sarah Van Tyne, the Vice President of Sales at automotive training and learning platform Quantum5. But first, here are today's top stories. Starting our coverage, the Federal Reserve has again raised interest rates to a target range of 4.25% to 4.5%, the highest since 2007. In its attempts to fight inflation and prepare for forecasted economic downturns, the Reserve has raised rates throughout 2022. However, while its intent is to ease the burden on consumers, supply chain issues and material shortages have forced industries to raise prices to cover production costs. Automakers and dealerships are especially struggling to balance manufacturer and consumer needs as vehicle prices and monthly financing payments reached their highest in decades. Whether the new rate will finally succeed in forcing a market correction remains to be seen. Next up, a new self-driving vehicle investigation is underway as the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration looks into issues with General Motors' Cruise robotaxi. The agency announced the probe after receiving reports of the car braking unnecessarily, causing backups and rear-end accidents. GM only offers its driverless ride-sharing services in Northern California, although it expects to expand into more states in the coming years. The automaker has promised to work with the NHTSA to improve safety standards while continuing development. After new vehicle prices hit an all-time high in November, Ford has again raised the price of its electric pickup variant by an additional $4,000. The base F-150 Lightning Pro now costs $58,514, roughly 44% more than it did at the start of the year. The automaker cited supply issues and shortages as reasons for the increase. Analysts are warning the auto industry that interest rate and price hikes have raised monthly lease payments for many Americans, causing consumers to delay vehicle purchases until the economy improves. However, Ford seems confident that the pickup will continue to sell and has added a third shift to its F-150 Lightning factory to increase production. Closing our coverage, diesel technology panelists speaking to engineering and manufacturing specialists on Wednesday reaffirmed their belief that fossil fuels will remain an important product in the future. Now, many industries are searching for ways to reduce emissions, leading them to invest in electric or solar energy resources to reduce gas consumption. However, the experts noted zero emission and renewable fuels are still an affordable and clean alternative. Furthermore, the panelists also explained that gas addresses infrastructure weaknesses that certain energy alternatives can't, while acknowledging that a transformation will inevitably occur in the coming decades. The panel concluded that decarbonization goals would best be met with a diverse array of energy sources, including diesel. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next is Sarah Van Tyne, the Vice President of Sales at automotive training and learning platform Quantum5. We'll be right back.
Delivering the news dealers count on for 10 years. Subscribe today and join thousands of other automotive professionals. CBT News, 10 years strong.
Today, we're happy to have with us Miss Sarah Van Tyne, the Vice President of Sales for Quantum5, an automotive training and learning platform designed to develop the skills your sales and service teams need. In this segment, Sarah is going to discuss BDC best practices and effective ways to empower your entire team. Take a look.
Talk to us about some of the challenges from your perspective that you see that dealers are dealing with right now.
Well, really the biggest challenge right now is just getting ready for what's coming. There's been a lot of dealers that haven't been able to really put their finger on the pulse of what's going to happen next.
Right.
And for us, it's really important right now to make sure that we equip the people in our organization with the best skills so they can be ready for that customer interaction whatever comes in the future.
That's right. That's right. And now is the time. My friend Brian Benstock always says the time to fix the roof is when it's not raining, when the sun is shining, right? So even though dealers are experiencing some great times right now, now is the time to put that house in order. So talk to us. What are some of the best practices that you recommend in creating a great BDC?
Well, really, you have to start with the foundation, right? And so that's understanding in your organization what is going to be the most high priority for your dealership to really move the needle. And so when you take into account some of those things with your BDC, you have to understand where you are in order to understand where you're going to go.
Right.
So getting that baseline information is so critical to understand where you're at, what your benchmarks currently are, and then really have that objective to grow. And so for a lot of organizations, they're really looking to move the needle in the service department. They know that customer retention is super important, and that customer retention is also important for employee retention. Making sure that your employees are retained helps drive that customer retention and have the familiar faces that a customer sees every single time in the service drive or in the sales department. And so it's so critical right now that you start with the baseline data, you really focus on getting an understanding of where you're at in the game, and then go ahead and start to plan what steps you're going to take in order to get to the next marker that you want to see the improvement in, and really make sure that you have a good training plan in place to help equip the people with the right skills to talk to your customers to get there.
All right, be sure to watch this interview in its entirety right here at cbtnews.com. That wraps up our show for today, but we invite you to join us back here again tomorrow morning for all the latest news and trends impacting the retail automotive industry. And be sure to follow us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
CBT News, your #1 resource for auto industry news and content. Join the #1 most watched newscast in the automotive industry. CBT News, 10 years strong. Subscribe today.